Hello, everyone, and welcome to this exclusive live interview with KMD Books author Dr. Aparna Baruah. How are you going, Dr. Aparna?
I'm very well. Thank you, Karen. It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Didn't we have so much fun last week at your book launch?
Indeed, we did. It was such a special moment, being a debutante author and your
Oh,
first book coming out in this world. I think it's extremely special. It's
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 so
extremely
special.
special. And I think you made it extra special, Karen, because everything from the vibe to the venue to the weather was perfect in Perth. My guests all resonated with me, and they were people who meant they showed up for me, they showed up for the book, and I'm deeply grateful for whoever who watched it, even online.
Yeah.
Really, thank you deeply from the heart.
Oh my God, I feel the gratitude oozing out of you, and I love gratitude. It's such a
Same here.
superpower. And you go there in your book, you absolutely do. But because you are this beautiful, phenomenal beacon for all goodness of Hannah, that's what I see you as. You just attract in, like the crowd that you had at the event last week were just the most phenomenal people because you called them in, and it was the most phenomenal event. I enjoyed every single bit of it. It didn't feel like work whatsoever, but to see you emerge as an author and step into authorship, it was a beautiful thing to watch. And if anybody didn't see the interview, the live interview that happened last week at the launch, I suggest that you go to our YouTube channel and check it out. But
Please.
I just want to go there into the essence of what was happening during that interview, because it was phenomenal to be interviewed by a child, a friend that you've had for a long time. Can you talk us through that?
Absolutely. So, when you said that, we are doing the book launch, and I was like, okay, who should be interviewing me? I just stopped for a moment because my book is so earthy, it's so soulful, and it's come out so much from the heart. It's about real life people, it's about real moments that were experienced and lived. So, I just thought about my friend Asmita Mahanta, who is
Yeah.
not only a voracious reader and a literary person, but she had she was very kind to read the draft of my book. And I'll keep it very, that's a very precious thing because in her own handwriting on the draft she had written, Apana, this reflects the unapologetic enthusiast you are about life. And I just loved that. I was like, Asmita, spot on. And she brought those words. So I thought how lucky and how humbling it would be for Asmita to ask me these personal questions, because I believe that these stories were not written, they were experienced by me. I was living these stories. And Asmita knows me very well. So, just to bring that personal touch, over 13 years, we have had hours of discussion on family, children, food, traveling, books, name it, friends, difficulties, challenges, victories, losses. And who could be better, than Asmita to do this for me? And I'm so honored and humbled that she brought out the book to the world, in that on that day.
It was so special to watch. You could feel the energy between you
Yes.
guys. It was just of pride, of joy, of celebration, and
Mhm.
unapologetically enthusiastic. That is, it's how what a beautiful, amazing, inspiring trait to have, and one that should be celebrated and shared with the world so that we can all show
Absolutely.
up and be unapologetically enthusiastic about life. Hey, I share
Absolutely.
that with you.
Yes, yes, absolutely, Karen. And that's why we clicked, I think so. Because
Yes.
I strongly believe that, in the spiritual sense of the term, we are all one and we are connected with this energy. And I think with KMD Books, that's what happened. As you know, I'm a completely debutante author. This journey was very spontaneous and unplanned for me. But when I met you, every bit resonated with me because I had already met a couple of publishers, and something I just told Sunny, my husband, I said, no, I can't gel. Not that I knew anything about publishing at all, But,
Yeah.
it's just that I'm a very heart based person, and that intuitiveness and that deeper knowing connects me. And so when you say that your energy and mine got connected, I'm sure that's the reason why.
Oh, 100%. And I journey with people. That's one of my superpowers. I love to journey with people because there's no two journeys the same and no two
Absolutely.
intentions the same. And you've got a nice big whopper of an intention that I am loving joining you on to make happen. So, because my focus primarily this year is on book sales. So, when your intention is aligned with book sales, I'm like, let us at it and let us have fun doing it, Aparna.
Absolutely. Karen, what I really wanted, because there was this why of this book, which I mentioned, to you and to the audience who was there, rather my friends, those who were there supporting me that day, that how did this journey begin? A lot of people ask me, how, why? We know you. When did you write this book?
Yeah.
And I have to say this, that it all starts from that why do you want to do this? And I have to give all credits to Hay House Writers Challenge, where I remember 3 consecutive days I had to be interviewed by one of my friends on the same question of why did I write the book? And
Yes.
that why kind of opened the space and dug deeper into me. And when that why is so clear, your intention becomes clear. That I have a message within me. The book has a message. It's just for people to appreciate the simple nuances of life, the
Yeah.
simple joys of life. And now, my intention of selling the books is that this book needs to reach out to people who need it with the
Oh,
same energy and love which I created it.
oh,
You created it, or you helped me create it, because it's a combination, it's a team effort and work.
oh,
And that's why my intention, I'm so positive about my intention. I
yeah,
just know it will work because my clarity of my vision and my purpose is so clear. And I
yeah.
think that's very important. I just want to serve. The book has a purpose. It needs to reach out to people to bring out those emotions, those feel good factor emotions,
Mm-hmm.
which I think we have lost in the recent times because of, be it COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was great losses in the world, you know.
Yes. And
And
you
as a
experienced losses
doctor,
yourself too, didn't you, Aparna? And
I did.
yet you still held on to your positive outlook on life and just embraced that and used it as a vehicle.
Yes, because I always personally feel that whenever there is a loss, you have a gap. Now,
Yeah.
how do you fill that space with? It's up to us. So, if you fill that space with love, kindness, compassion, that's it. The space gets filled up.
Yeah.
So, I attempted to do it. And particularly, I think it was situational because my loss was during COVID. I lost my dad. I couldn't go home. I couldn't go to India. I couldn't grieve with my family. But I tried to make the most of it. I filled it with beautiful memories,
Yeah.
and I had a deep dive into my personal journey. And as I said, in that journey, I found so much. I found love. I found compassion. Found self love.
Yeah.
I found gratitude, which is I think it's the mother of all emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And, that heals you inside out, really. And then you want to just serve. You want to just give that energy, that emotion to all, and embrace everything and everybody, really.
The journey inward, I love it. I want to just bring Mark's comment on here. I think that it's serendipitous that Mark is here. Mark is he's over brains and he features people in Entrepreneur magazine and everything. So he says you got a whopper of an intention, and he's also commented, yes, when someone leaves your life, they leave a space for someone or something new to enter your life. I love it. Thank you so much, Mark, for
Thank,
watching and for contributing.
thank you.
I'll connect you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Aparna, the journey of this book is has been phenomenal. You've written it in record time. I promise I wasn't
Yes.
with a whip, guys, but I was encouraging. But isn't it something to be so proud of? This book, I want to gift this to my daughters, to get to fill them with wisdoms of life and positivity and your perspective on life. Where does that come from? I know you've done some inner work, but where does that come from, the foundations?
I think the foundation has to be from my childhood.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky to be born in India into a spiritual family. When I say spiritual family, it is that spiritual mindset. So we grew up, my parents were both givers more than getters in their own ways. And they always made sure that I had varied experiences in life, which enriched us. Now, this was very important for us. But, varied from traveling, food, music, art, culture was strewn into our lives. And I think that curiosity has to develop from childhood. That, you want to be a keen learner, you want to grow, and you want to expand and share. So I think I have to give that. And also, as you know, the Eastern traditions and the wisdom and the culture has always embedded spirituality in its own way. And spirituality is growth in some ways, knowing your deeper self and then grow.
Yeah.
So that was my essence, I think, or my building block or my foundation. And throughout medical school or even my journey in UK as a migrant, as and in Australia, I always kept in touch with self growth. I always was a believer. I invested in myself. But my deep dive went into it in when I was in Perth in the last 14 years. And over the last 4 to 5 years, I really deeply dived after losing both my parents over a period of 2 years. Now, the journey in Perth was very interesting. And I think that's, again, I'll talk about that space. I was a very busy medical practitioner. I am still, but I chose to have a work life balance because now I'm a consultant and I can be that. But when I was a junior doctor and I was in the ascending career pathway in UK doing my postgraduate studies, I had the opportunity to become a mother of two wonderful boys. So I had a very busy husband who was also in his ascending career pathway, two children, but a career struggling with everything, as we dumb mothers do,
Mm-hmm.
juggling,
Yeah,
and career
it's
women's
real.
do. Yes, but creativity is one of the facets I feel that connects you to your soul. So that channel, I made sure that I always kept it open, no matter how small it was. I took every opportunity to be in touch with my music, my dance, yoga, meditation, no matter how little time. And I always made sure I either did a course or self investment on myself by reading books or listening to podcasts or, wiser people and then life's experiences. Because in Perth, I was forced to slow down.
Yes.
I had a very, very busy pace of life in UK. And when I forced to slow down, I didn't know what to fill in with. Initially, I was just filling in time, doing, just things just to fill in the gap. And then I found no, I have everything, so-called everything, the best of Korea. I was very comfortable and affluent. And yet I was lacking in something and I couldn't question it. I was just not fulfilled. And that was my deeper dive into myself. I kept on questioning myself. Why am I not fulfilled? Why don't I feel that joy? And then I realized that it is not on that external validation, on that external things that brings you joy and fulfillment. It's always looking inwards. And then my purpose came up, and my purpose was through my meditations or through my music, my creativity and dance. I just found that my purpose was to serve, be
Yeah.
it with my voice or be it with words, be it with encouragement, be it with motivating others.
Mhm.
Somehow I feel that my purpose is to serve and empower others. And now the writing journey. So there
Yes.
you go. So it was
In,
totally
in the
coincidental.
doing, Arpana, in the doing, you're inspiring. In the doing for yourself, you're showing it's possible. You're
It is.
showing that to dream and what starts off as a thought, a possibility, you can make into an actual thing. Like I remember whenever you sent me your music video, your latest one, and it's doing so well on YouTube. Like it's like
Oh, yes,
hundreds
yes,
of
yes.
thousands. What are you? Probably a million views now. But you were surging to the you're going so high with that, and it was so, and it's such a beautiful video and song, and
Thank
it's
you
the
so
most
much.
gorgeous. It is the most gorgeous energy to go in and bask in, and you can
Thank you.
see all of the yoga and all of the meditation and all of the self-reflection coming through and being shared with the world through that. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? I know it's not a book, but it's part of your journey. So
Oh, absolutely. My musical journey, I cannot, because I cannot separate music and myself, because I learned music. I grew up in a musical family. My mother was very musical. And I learned music, Indian classical music, since I was 2.5 or 3 years of age. And I constantly, I just changed my genre. I've even done Western jazz and vocals, which, and again got back to Indian music, because I just try, because music is something which gives me that space to just be myself, my most authentic and vulnerable self. Now, I also appreciate music, because what I think is I'm just an instrument. The voice
yes,
has been gifted to me, and I am just like a flute, the air which is going out. So that is very humbling, that it is not yours. Music teaches that when it reaches out, when you're talking about this video and this music creation, again, I had this, again was during COVID times. Can you believe? Like, I always had a musical journey, but I
yeah,
never thought that I'd be making musical videos with one of the top coaches in India, Sucheta Bhattacharjee, my guru, and they'll give me an opportunity to make music videos from Mumbai. Like, as we all know, Indians in Bollywood, they,
yes,
so it's that place of Bollywood which they are like, why don't you can you come to Mumbai and we want to make videos, music videos with you? And so, yes, again, the journey was during COVID, during online music lessons. They said that, could you do videos for us? And that's how it started. But very interestingly, what you said about the last musical video is, it's the word shukriya, which means thank you. And that is all that I was singing. That thank you for everything that you have given me. And it was for my love, which was my husband. But saying so, I think it has a bigger aspect, because,
yes.
very interestingly, Karen, the song has been taken for prayers, which again, I feel so humbled. People have used theirs as, shukriya in meditation. They have said that
Yes.
it resonates with them, because it's the word itself is so big. It's thank
And it can
you.
be
It's that.
assigned to anything in life, can't it?
Absolutely.
It brings you
And
into that vibration. You know, the way gratitude brings you onto that frequency of attracting beautiful
absolutely.
things. That's what
Yeah.
your song does. It just brings you
Oh,
into that
and
vibration.
see, you don't even know the language. It's
I know,
Hindi.
yeah, I know you can
Like,
feel it.
and there's so many people like you, like my colleagues, my friends from here. They say, Apana, we don't understand what you're saying, but we can feel the emotion. And my job was done. I
Yeah.
was like, you felt
Guys,
the
we will
emotion of
pop
the
the link
music.
for this video under this live, okay?
Thank
So that you
you.
can check
Thank
it
you.
out. Amazing. It is beautiful. And then the book, it was being born in this energy as well.
It,
So,
it
and
is.
sharing these stories. Now, we don't want to give away the contents of the book,
No,
but these, stories are our life. We are all a tapestry of stories, I believe. And so
absolutely.
that's why a book like Forget Me Not is where you share these stories, but also the lessons and the messages through them. So can you
Mhm.
share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. These 25 short stories, Karen, are chronicles of my life, because each of these stories, some have happened to me. I've met those people myself, including my husband. My sons are there in the story. And I feel they all have taught me something. They taught me, they opened up a different perspective of life. And that's where I stopped to think. The majority of the people are just day to day people that I've written about. Or I've heard the story from somebody and it just clicked. I'm like, oh my God, they brought in so much of love. They brought in so much of gratitude. So, what I feel is that these stories will open up windows or parts of yourself which
Yeah,
was always there within you. You see, victories, challenges, happiness, it's all intertwined in our day to day lives. But we are
yeah.
so busy that we have forgotten to see them. I
Mm,
write a story about seeing birds because I really didn't see them for so long. And
yeah.
one day I was sitting at work and having my tea break. in Sir Charles Gardner Hospital. And when I looked at some hopping birds, they came close to me. And that was the first time I admired them because I was present.
Yeah, you're
So
so.
each of these stories, I think, brings out a different perspective of seeing things. It might be the same emotions with which I have pinned it down, or it could be a totally different emotion. But I'm sure they will bring out this feel good factor.
Yeah.
And, they'll really connect you with what we call humanity. Just that intermingling.
I'll give you a review. Reading your book, we don't live through you. We read your stories, and it helps us reflect on our own self, and we learn through with you, alongside you, with you sharing your stories. So not only do we get to read your stories and embrace them and enjoy them, and we learn through them. So your wisdom shine through, Aparna, and I think that's just, it's natural for you now, I believe.
I hope so, and and I'm really thankful and truly grateful. But that is my purpose, and that was my vision. That even if it helps somebody, it just opened because somebody else did it to me. I
Yeah.
opened up. I had the wisdom by reading or
Yes.
listening or hearing a story. And stories somehow, you remember stories because and
Yes.
deeply emotional stories because we all love to share and hear stories, don't we? And
Yeah.
that connects us, and that's why stories are so powerful, I think. And everybody has a story to say. Everybody has a
The way
story to
that
say.
you write, I remember whenever you sent me your manuscript, you sent
Hmm.
me stories, and I was like, I can just read these all day. There's just something how you have a conversation with us. So there's something, a magical essence that just shines through. So it's just something that you have, like even with the editing process, you were like, is this not going to be, am I not going to get more of an edit? Because it was, your voice was just so authentic, and you just know your voice, you just know yourself. And so that's why your stories just connect with the heart of a reader. You just do it, having the conversation. And that's what I love about books now coming out, like Forget Me Not. And I write like this too, where you talk to people, you share your experiences and share your wisdoms and your knowledge, so that the reader can take it away and take on board what resonates and apply it in their own life to make it better, isn't it?
And Karen, do you remember that conversation when I went to meet you in Rockingham?
Here in
You
the south.
pointed it out. You pointed it out, and I was clueless because I sent you 6 stories, and I said, "What do you think about my writing?" And I was like, I'm just a doctor. I've
Yeah,
just written I journal. And you said, just don't change anything. I mean, I love the style of your writing. And I'm like, oh my God, is she serious? Like,
yeah.
that was so you guided me so much. You have to, I give my gratitude and thankful. I'm deeply thankful to you because you guided me. That might have been a very simple comment for you, somebody who is dealing with authors day in, day out in different genre. But for a novice like me, who was like, clueless, just gave you 6 stories, that was why. So I kept that. So
Yeah.
that was, that was such a guidance
Your
for me
voice,
that
Aparna,
don't
and
change the style. Yeah,
don't
it's
change.
just,
Don't overthink it. Do what you're doing. You're
yes,
doing it right. Just get the stories out. And
absolutely.
that's, I understand, because I was a first time author myself one time,
Mhm.
and I had to, but you need, once you find your authentic voice, you don't want to go and change that, because that, we all grow as authors and, expand as authors, but the authentic voice, that's what you don't want to lose, especially when you're writing nonfiction. So
That's
congratulations.
something which I learned. Thank you so much.
Where to from here for you, Apana?
Oh, very interesting. As you are aware, my second book is coming out. It's an anthology, Women Leading the Way, and I'm totally honored to be a part of that book because 25 amazing women have written their journeys, and I think women, we
We're
always lead
both
the
in that
way.
book
But
together, Apana. I'm in it with you.
yes, absolutely. And you guys are publishing it. So I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity because that is a reflection of my personal journey, of my personal challenges, and, how you overcome every challenge,
Yeah.
and learn from it. And so that is very good. I have the seed for the next book is already there. I've got a name for it.
Yeah.
And again, it would be again based on stories and real life people, because that's what I like about. But
Yeah.
yes, I haven't penned down a single one, but I already have that seed in my mind, so I can't wait for that.
Wake
But
up in the
prior
middle
to
of
that,
the night.
yes,
That
but
muse won't leave you alone until you do it. It's a progressional thing. You know, you look at the Gabby Bernsteins of the world, the Elizabeth Gilberts, all of the big names. It's a progressional thing. Lisa Messenger, I remember having a conversation with her once where I said, you write a book at different stages of your growth because the person who comes and reads that book at that stage needs to read that book. You may have moved on through and evolved, but that's the book they need to read and you needed to write. So you need to honor that and keep going. You
absolutely.
know, that's your legacy. It's beautiful.
And absolutely. And on the same note, when you mentioned Gabby, because without mentioning Gabby Bernstein and Jack Canfield, I think the interview will not be complete and worthwhile, because they are the two people who really inspired me, because I somehow resonate with their style. They are big names, they have written so many books. But whenever I read a book from Gabby, and even in Instagram, when I said, "Oh my God, your super attractor was too good," and at least I got a love heart from her, which is like
Yeah,
amazing. And have had the honor of sending her the book and posting it out to her.
yeah.
But I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. That I had the opportunity of sending it out to both my mentors in my own mind, though they don't know about it, I'm sure. But
Yeah,
yes,
they
the
will.
energy.
You know, we all know how time and circumstance align. So when that happens, you know, we just got to take action when you're called to. So it's beautiful. I adore Jack Canfield as well. I love all of his work, get all of his emails, and also his secret, what he talks about authorship in the secret, is gold
Mm,
for any author to get inspired by. That
I think
inspired
so.
action. I think is really
Inspired action, that's
yeah.
the word. But also for my, you asked me a question which I deviated actually. So what's next is life coaching.
Yay!
And yes, and that again resonates and aligns with my thought, words, and actions, and everything, whether it's a book. So I am being a life coach, and I'm taking my accreditation from the Jay Shetty Certification School in America, and I'm halfway through, and I get my accreditation in first week of June, and I am enjoying the journey. That journey is, it. I think my experience of a doctor for over 20 years, along with my spiritual mindset, I think really blends into life coaching.
Oh,
And I think it's effortless and seamless. And I really look forward to guiding and empowering people, because the solution lies in everybody's hands. And we are looking for solutions everywhere else. So
yeah.
I am really, really looking forward to this journey of life coaching.
Oh, you are going to guide people inwards with love and just help them to find their answers and guide them back out to make it happen with what they need. That's just, I
Thank
can just
you.
see it there. Beautiful, gorgeous.
I, I hope I can.
Oh, I look forward to watching this and all of the beautiful things that blossom out of that. It's going to be phenomenal. Guys, you've seen it here first. Dr. Panna, thank you for joining me today. Go and
Thank you.
get your copy of Forget Me Not at kmdbooks.com. We have stock here in our office and also online everywhere, all platforms, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. We'll be posting a landing page link where you can watch the live interview. We'll also put your music video on there because it's
Please
all
do.
part of you.
It is. It's
So
all part of
everybody
me.
can get to know you and some awesome photographs from the launch because there's some really fun photographs and videos. All right, guys,
Absolutely.
thank you for joining us. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you so much, Karen, for this. And thank you, all the viewers. And thank you, deeply grateful. Please read Forget Me Not and leave a review or a comment. And this will help us to get better.
Oh, I love it. Review the book, guys. We need reviews. Let us know.
Absolutely.
Bye, everyone.